In the 5th grade, I took a trip with my sister Sarah, my sister Kayla, my mom, and my grandma. It was a trip to Chicago for my sister Sarah's senior show choir group as just kind of a reward and a fun trip. And that very day that we stepped off the plane and stepped on the streets of Chicago, I immediately felt a connection and fascination with the city. Ever since that day, I've always known that I either want to live there one day or eventually go back to visit. So Chicago is a city with many things to offer. The city is a popular attraction for travelers as well as a popular city to call home. So first off, I'll give you guys just kind of a brief history on the city. It was first settled by a tribe of Indians, and they called it Chicago, which is the meaning for great, powerful, and strong. And that is a great description of the city because from here, the city has blossomed into a successful city. One of the huge marks in its history was the Great Chicago Fire, and I'm sure everyone has probably heard of that. It occurred October 8th, 1871, and it was a huge fire that engulfed the city in flames, destroying miles of buildings, and it left the whole city in devastation, and architects fled from everywhere to come help the city. And since then, they built up the city, and now Chicago is one of the most advanced and culturally diverse cities in our whole country. The attractions all range from the great business, the shopping, the restaurants, and that's just to say a few. So now I will tell you guys some of the specific attractions that there are. So first off, the architecture of the city itself is a huge, unique point of the city. There's actually a boat tour that you can go on, and it takes you down the river, and they'll have a person telling you the different symbolic meanings that architectural buildings and structures have, which you probably never thought about before, that some building can have different meaning than another building. It seems all the same, but it is actually a huge attraction that brings in lots of travelers from everywhere. Then one of the main ones is the Willis, or also known as the Sears Tower. This tower was built in 1973. Over the years, it's gone over lots of reconstruction to make it better and taller. It had a name change, though, in 2009, and that's when it became the Willis Tower. The Willis Tower now stands at 110 stories tall, and even to this day, although it's the Willis Tower, you still hear a lot of people just call it the Sears Tower, just because that's kind of what was set in stone for so long. Another great attraction is the Navy Pier, and this was built in 1910, and exactly what this is it's a 3,300 foot long pier on the shoreline of Lake Michigan. And not only does it offer the opportunity to go and get a great view of the lake, but it has the big old famous Ferris wheel, many shops, restaurants, just different things that also come with it that you can spend your time walking up and down, going and enjoying. Great attraction for many families is the Shedd Aquarium. So this is just an indoor aquarium with a bunch of sea life. It opened in 1930, and like I said, it has attracted many families, and children love to go and visit there. The next is the Lincoln Park Zoo, and this was founded in 1868, and it is actually one of the 3 public free zoos in the country. So it's just been around for a really long time, and it's free, so it's pretty popular that people are going to go there. As far as sporting events, one of the big things is baseball at Wrigley Field that people can attend. And for football, for those who want to cheer on the Chicago Bears, there is Soldier Field, and this was built in 1924, and it It's called Soldier Field for a reason. It honors the fallen American soldiers that have fought for our country, which is pretty cool. As far as those who are into music, there is the Chicago Theater that the city has to offer that was built in 1921. It was originally called the Balaban and Katz Theater. And pretty much you can go see Broadway shows, different plays, and even concerts there, so it was pretty cool. As far as another place to listen to is the music complex of the city, is what they call it, and that is the Chicago Symphony Center. And obviously, one of the main things is food. Chicago has some of the most elite and famous restaurants, chefs, and everything. With over 7,300 different restaurants, you are bound to find at least one that you like there. So now that I've given you guys some of the attractions that would pull you in, I will just state some facts. The population of Chicago is around 2,695,598 people. That ranks it in as the third largest city in the U.S. Our current president, Barack Obama, that is actually his hometown is Chicago. Lake Michigan, as you know, is the bordering lake of the city, and there is actually 26 miles of lakefront on the city. There is an annual of 40 million visitors a year. Another thing is that it has the nickname of being the Windy City. And lots of people think this is because of, the wind, but in fact it is because people back then would talk about Chicago and talk it up big and kind of brag about it, and so then they're windy people, and that is why people from Chicago, they thought of it as the Windy City, filled with people just talking big. So those are just a few of the facts that I found. And just in conclusion, there's a reason I did fall in love with the city 7 years ago. It's a popular attraction for many different people and to be called a home. So Chicago is a city with many things to offer. The city is a popular attraction for travelers as well as a popular city to call home. Today I discussed with you guys just a brief history of the city, the different attractions that there are, and also some interesting facts and statistics. And if you guys have never visited Chicago, then maybe now I hopefully intrigued you guys a little bit to where you are going to want to book your flight to go and visit for the first time. So thank you and have a good day. And here are my resource cards too. Just this one and this one. Okay, now